All right, so this week we're diving into something pretty heavy, huh? The school shooting at Apalachee High School in Georgia. And we're going deep, looking at all the news reports, trying to make sense of what happened, especially when it comes to the family of the kid who did it.
Yeah, this one is definitely complicated. Lots of layers to unpack here.
Exactly. I mean, just to recap for everyone, the shooting, it happened on September 4th. Colt Gray, just 14 years old, opens fire at the school. 2 students and 2 teachers gone. 9 others hurt. And to make things even more complex, his own father is facing charges for giving him the gun.
Right, and that detail right there, it really adds another layer of tragedy to this whole thing.
Absolutely. But, and this is where it gets really unsettling, months before all of this went down, there's another incident, this time with Colt Gray's mother, Marcee Gray. And let me tell you, this new information just changed. It adds a whole other dimension to the story.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm ready. Tell me more about that.
So there's this article from the Associated Press, and it lays out some pretty disturbing allegations against Marcee Gray. Get this. It says she allegedly taped her own mother, a 74-year-old woman, to a chair, left her there, restrained, for almost a full day.
Wait, hold on. Taped her to a chair. Why? What was going on?
That's the crazy part. The article says she did it so she could drive across the state to confront her ex-husband. You know, Colt Gray's dad.
Are you serious? She left her elderly mother taped to a chair just to go have it out with her ex.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, it's just unbelievable, really. And because of all this, she was arrested and is now facing some pretty serious charges, including exploiting an elderly person.
Yeah, well, first of all, just hearing that is disturbing on so many levels. To think that someone could do that to their own mother, especially at that age, it really makes you wonder what kind of intense stress or family dysfunction might be at play here.
Exactly. And it makes you think, what kind of environment did Colt Gray grow up in? What kind of pressures was he dealing with at home? Was any of this a factor in what he did?
Right. It's impossible to ignore that question.
And to make things even more heartbreaking, the AP article mentions that the morning of the shooting, Marcee Gray texted Colt. Just a simple message, "I'm sorry." Then, days later, she makes a public statement saying he's not a monster.
Wow. Just wow. It's almost hard to know what to say to that. It's such a raw emotional response, and you can't help but feel for her in that moment.
Absolutely. It's heartbreaking all around. But, and you kind of touched on this earlier, it's essential to remember we're only getting pieces of this family's story. We don't know the full extent of their relationships, the events leading up to the shooting. It's complex and it's messy.
You're absolutely right. It's easy to want to connect the dots, to say, well, look at the family situation. That explains everything. But it's just not that simple. There are so many factors that could have contributed to this tragedy. We can't pretend to know for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes this whole deep dive so important, because it reminds us that behind every headline, behind every tragic event, there are real people with complex lives and relationships. And sometimes those stories are messy, they're difficult, and we may never fully understand them.
Exactly. And I think, if anything, this situation should encourage us all to be a little more aware of the people around us, offer support to those who might be struggling. You just never know what someone else is going through.